Hello, wonderful guys. Welcome to a brand new episode of the podcast Football or Nothing. And like we always say, if you put the first letters of the word Football or Nothing together, you get FON. And if you pronounce everything together, that's fun. On fun, we're here to have fun. We're going to be having fun today with a lot of topics. High School Palmer did wonderfully well at the weekend. 4 goals in a single half. We'll be talking about that. I think the Flick party has now ended. We have a Barcelona fan in the building. We'll be talking about that. And of course, Manchester United mystery continues at Old Trafford. I think it's now Old Toilets right now. So we have a lot of things to talk about on the podcast today. And I want you guys to stick around. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. So I will introduce the panel to you guys right now. In the studio live with Abezi. He's a Manchester United fan. He has a lot of things to say on the podcast because we'll be putting him to test. You can see he's not in a good mood. So let's move to the next guy in a sober mood as well. That is A-Trip. The Flick party has ended.
The Flick.
The
not
Flick
yet. The party is still on.
They have flipped the switch, right?
It's not a fluke.
And,
on, bro.
And of course, Prosper Westman, do like this.
Shake me. The only 2 winners on this show.
And of course, I am a favorite host. My name is Kenny. And guys, I think we need to start with City. Manchester City. They have lost Rodri. And there is no Kevin De Bruyne in the team right now as well. They drew at St. James's Park. I think we were on the podcast about a few days ago saying Newcastle, St. James's Park is one of the hardest stadiums to go into in England. Right now, what's the fate of Manchester City, Prosper Westman? What's the fate of City going into this run of fixtures without their key man, Rodri? And obviously right now, Kevin De Bruyne is also on the sideline.
You can't underestimate the impact of Rodri in the Manchester City side because we've seen it over and over and over how they struggle without him. And right now, going forward, it's left for us to see how Guardiola would be able to manage because he does not just cover whatever it covers. It brings physicality also into the midfield. And now with Odegaard now playing like I don't even know what to. He plays like Sambi Lokonga of Arsenal that year. With Odegaard now playing like Lokonga and Kovacic less physical, I feel like they would have a bit of issue. But then again, it's Pep Guardiola. He just knows how to manipulate his way around this thing. But I feel like it would be a show to see how they would cope with this Rodri injury and with KDB out also for the main time. And then that is now making me question what happened to the PFA player of the season. Because these are times we expect him to step up. And we are not seeing Phil Waterfoden. So I'm just hoping that they get over the Rodri injury. But I feel like it will be a tight time for them.
A-Trip, do you still think City they have all the weapon to retain the title this season?
It happens a lot of time. Those are the implications of you setting the bar high. When you set the bar high for yourself as a team, you are up there. People want you week in, week out to get the winning, if at all. At least Pep Guardiola has reached an height whereby people doesn't expect him to draw. Anytime Manchester City draw is not different from a team that actually loses a match. So I don't think right now with what happened in St. James's Park, we all know how St. James's Park is full of energy and the crowd are always there to support the Newcastle players in and out. And anybody coming into a stadium like that, like St. James's Park, is either one of the two. Is either you get a win or at the end of the day, maybe sometimes you get a draw or at least maybe the home team actually lost it. So if you actually set the bar high for a team like Man City, those are the implications of you setting the bar high. Because if it was to be some teams that actually drew in the St. James's Park, I think the debate is not going to go all around like this. But, it's a Man City, it's a Pep Guardiola thing. You have the likes of like he said earlier, you have the PFA Player of the Year in the team. You have the highest goal scorer, which is Elilana, and a lot of wonderful players. So you having a draw at St. James's Park is just like you losing a match. Because we know Man City, week in, week out, we always expect them to be up there.
Okay, and Abezi, if I'm going to throw the question to you, do you still think that Pep Guardiola should be blamed for not rotating well enough? Because right now, when Rodri was fit, we know Rodri was always playing week in, week out. Do you think Pep Guardiola is at fault for not thinking about a day that Rodri will be injured and now the day has arrived?
Actually, Pep Guardiola using Rodri day, week in, week out. I think there should be consequences for it and he should be ready to face those consequences. Though it's normal. especially for a player like Rodri. Pep can't afford to bench him, and it's quite obvious and evident in the game. Whenever he misses out, there was even a record. Probably last season, the games were counting 50-something goals, 50-something games with Rodri, and they are still yet to lose a game up till I think that was the FA Cup final. And so a player like that, a manager, not even only Pep now, any manager won't be able to afford at least to miss out on Rodri while he is fit. But at the same time, he should bear the consequences.
So let's hope the consequences are not too much for him to retain the Premier League title. Let's go to a certain Cole Palmer. I need to do like this because I'm feeling cold saying his name already. Cole Palmer is the star man of the show. When he came in last season, you know, Christopher Nkunku got injured at the earliest part of last season. On the dying moment of the transfer window last season, towards the twilight of the transfer window, there was the rumor here and there that Liverpool, Chelsea needed to sign an attacking midfielder. People were bringing about, oh, it's going to be a Musiala, it's going to be this. And boom, a boy from nowhere, Cole Palmer, the boy from City, is the answer. Chelsea fans were really frustrated. Like, why are you bringing a bench player, someone that can even make the starting lineup at City? Why are you bringing him to Chelsea? He's not even going to raise the bar. And the boy did justice to that. He won himself the PFA Young Player of the Year. Coming into this season, he was tagged a one-season wonder. But I think he's even doing more and more and more right now. Do you think that guy is ready for the big stage to be called the best player in the English Premier League? Prosper.
With the pace at which he's going, because someone said something which I quite agree with. If a team is above you, for you to get to their level or close some certain gaps, you need to take out their best sets of squad players. That is what Chelsea has done. Picking out squad players from teams that are actually better than them, and then they arrived at what they arrived in. But with the pace he's going, I'm sorry, Chelsea fans, he might climax what Hazard did for Chelsea, because in as much as I'm a rival fan, you can't hate such a player. He's a wonderful footballer. He's just that guy. He's just that guy. And with this pace he's going, we are watching. If he goes at this trajectory for the next 7, 5, 6 years, we are watching one of the best players to ever play in the Premier League.
Hey, Trip, is Cole Palmer the best young player in the world right now?
Cole Palmer is a very good player, but right now he's one of the best players in the world. We can't say he is the best player in the world.
No, best young players.
We have a couple of young players in the world.
That are better than him. Who?
I'm not saying who are better than him. We have the
tell us the guy who is better than him.
Yemi.
I know.
I know where he's heading at.
Let him speak.
Let me tell you something. A player scoring 4 goals in a match,
in a single half.
Yeah. Does that mean he's better than everyone else? We have players that are more better than him. We have the likes of Lamine Yamal, which is more better than him, which is more consistent compared to Cole Palmer.
So Lamine Yamal is better than Cole Palmer.
I'm not saying he's better than Cole Palmer, but they are on the same level.
Do you remember Cole Palmer is doing this in the Premier League, the biggest league in the world? Week out.
And I'm also telling you this. Lamine Yamal is doing it in a team like Barcelona, one of the biggest team in the world. A team whereby you putting them on your shoulders can actually ruin your career if you are not careful.
And Sufati.
And Chelsea is doing the same thing.
And Chelsea is doing the same thing, but Chelsea actually,
Cole Palmer carries Chelsea on his shoulders.
Know the instrument Chelsea has. They have the likes of Madrid, a lot of wonderful players. Cole Palmer is a wonderful player, he's a very good player, if not one of the best youngsters in the world. But I'm standing on it. He is not the best youngster in the world right now.
Abezi is going to have a contrary opinion. Is he the best youngster in the world, Cole Palmer?
They have to be mine.
Currently, I feel with the trajectory that he is going currently, I have to agree. I have no choice. Though it's not something I would like to say.
So Abezi is telling us that a Cole Palmer is decent in more than Yamin
right
Lamau.
now.
That's what you're telling the world.
Yes, currently, guys.
He's better than Yamin Lamau.
Yes.
I knew you were going to be on a different page. Thank you very much.
Are you saying
it's not even about the ego performance now?
Are you saying a player playing in a match, scoring 4 goals? Are you telling me you scoring 4 goals?
It's not just because of the 4 goals.
It's better than a player that has been consistent.
What do you mean by sorry? What do you mean by consistency now? Because last season,
I'm telling you about real consistency.
We are not just talking of last week
in terms of this season.
No, you can't say that, bro. You can't say that. We don't judge football like that.
It's not just a half now. We are talking of the whole of last season to this season. And though you have a point in I think the last tournament, which was the Euros, he had a good performance in person of Lamine Yamal. But this same Cole Palmer, don't forget the fact that if if he were to be in the England team, he might find it hard to bench Bukayo Saka. And I think that's should I say, a victim of circumstance in terms of the national team.
So Yamin Lamar is only lucky to break into the Spanish national team
that is just it.
because
no.
Okay.
I won't take that. Now, if you are talking of this season consistently, I can place a debate anywhere that top 2 best right winger in the world right now, Yemi Yamal is among them.
Yes.
Either number 1 or 2. Now, this Kopama thing you are talking about, it's because of last game. When he's talking of consistency, I know what he meant. It's coming of the factor of this season. This season, in terms of consistency, who has been there for their team, who has carried their team, who has turned up the most, bro? You can't say that. You can't say that.
Are you taking into consideration that this team, I mean Barcelona, don't you feel the new manager, the vibe and everything is still there?
Don't Chelsea have a new manager?
No,
he's Enzo Maresca from he's talking about this season.
Yes,
this season. This season,
he is turning up.
Yamal has 5 goals, 5 assists this season for Barcelona alone.
Let me ask you guys a question. Can Yamin Lamar work in a dysfunctional Chelsea team last season?
I doubt that.
Sure. Can he carry them?
I guess we would never know.
I doubt that.
Sure, he will. Because what the reason I said he will is that when you look at the caliber of players Chelsea has, they have this kind of players whereby though the instrument is not really
the quality of players is not an issue with Chelsea.
The quality of players, but if looking at the quality of player Barcelona has, you know the difference is clear. You playing with the likes of fellow La Masia players.
Bro, let's not even go far. Their second team. Some of the players from their second team is good enough to start for Man United.
Sure.
Wait. You are talking of as if Barcelona does not have a good player. They have players like Cancelo.
Who is the starting number 6 for Barcelona?
Starting number 6.
Yes, they are number 6.
We have Casado.
No, you can't even mention his name. We are talking of this season. We are talking of this season.
Was in that team last season.
We are talking of this season. We are talking of this season. We are talking of this season.
Their career doesn't start this season.
Bro, see,
you have to consider last season as well.
I want you to understand something.
This conversation about this season.
It's not just this season now.
If you are playing with the
their career as a whole, who is better?
We are not having a conversation about this season. We are not having a conversation about their career. He asked the question right now: is Kopama the best young player in the world based off this season?
Okay, so if we are talking about that Kopama, let's speak about Kopama's Barcelona, because they were in an honeymoon. You know, when you get married, you travel all over the world for your honeymoon. And I think right now the honeymoon has ended.
Fluke.
Osasuna ruined the honeymoon. I think Flick rotated his team a lot. And I think, Erik, do you think Flick should share a portion of the blame? Is it wrong to rotate, or is it right to rotate the team based on the squad depth?
Bro, it's only if we are being biased. We all know Barcelona actually need the rotation at some point because we don't have this kind of squad depth. Looking at Barcelona team as a whole, you will see after you selecting the first 11 on the team, you know what you have left.
Exactly.
I'm sorry to say it. There are a little bit of crumbs that you have left. And at some point, you need this kind of rest. You need to give your important players some rest so as to prepare for the next game. We all know the structure of the Champions League these days. The structure has really changed. And right now, Champions League is all about winning. If even in a match, if you draw, you are in a big trouble. So right now we have a match, though we know young boys. Young boys might be a little bit of weaker team compared to Barcelona. But we don't look at football in that way. We just have to rotate the squad. We can say it's Hansi Flick's fault because he is the manager. He's the one that actually rotates the set of players. But still, generally, the fault lies with the board. Because there is no way, in one way or the other, if you have a team like Barcelona, just once or twice, you should expect the unexpected that actually happened. Because the squad depth is not much. If you actually watch the match, if you saw the match, you can see that immediately Lamine Yamal and Rafinha came in. There was a little bit of changes. So I actually didn't expect much. I won't blame Hansi Flick. It's a normal thing because he's trying to manage the instruments we have on ground. So it's normal for you to win or lose. That's part of the game.
Okay, Abezi said once upon a time on this podcast that he's very confident that Barcelona will win the Champions League this season. If you have been following this podcast, you would remember that Abezi said with his full chest that they are winning. Are you still confident because of this squad depth issue that Erik raised? Are you still confident that they will win the Champions League this season?
I think to some extent, I still believe they have the chance to get.
That is a man.
No.
He's not skeptical about. Be a man of your word. Be a man of your word. Have the balls. Have the balls. Have the balls.
No. You are changing your words right now.
You are thinking.
You feel or you are confident that they will win the Champions League final.
I think I'm confident of that because just take a look at the team. Though he said we should blame the board as regards to that, I won't agree with that because if you were to probably he has won the match, you wouldn't even probably lay the fault to the
bro.
I
saw the squad and we all knew he was not going to win the match.
No.
Looking at that squad,
the thing is, unless you lie to yourself, this Barcelona squad has been underwhelming. I don't know if you get.
Even the match they played before this last match.
Let me. I need to get Prosper right.
Yeah.
You said underwhelming.
In terms of their performance, I'm not talking of the starting side.
Okay,
the squad itself has been underwhelming. That was why I had an issue with the 60 million they spent on Dani Olmo because I felt he could have covered certain grants in the squad. I don't know if you get. So in the case of he has a right to actually blame their board and considering their financial situation also, so he has a right to blame the board.
Let me throw the question to you. Do you still think right now they have little gap between themselves and Real Madrid? Do you think Madrid will do the Real Madrid thing and catch up with them and just take them off the top spots
for the La Liga title?
Yeah,
I can bet anything for Barcelona to win the La Liga title. If they don't, I will go bad. I will shave off my head.
Okay, if you are watching this podcast right now, please save this thing right now. Save this clip. Prosper is going bad if Barca fails to win the La Liga this season. I will say it again. Prosper is going bad. We are going to shave off his ear. I will come with my clipper and everything.
I can do that myself.
You ask
you saying that will
like Barbie. So let's go to your team, the Gunners. Leicester City came in. I think if you watch the game, at a point, there were a little bit of scare during the game. At a point when the game was 2-2, everybody was like, but yet again, Mikel Arteta boys showed they are so resilient. They are so much matured. They can handle any situation. They can handle any pressure. How confident are you going into this season? With Rodri out, Kevin De Bruyne not so consistent in the team. Are you confident that this is Mikel Arteta's season to lift the Premier League title?
It's not just for the Premier League title. I have always said it on this show that it's a now or never season for Mikel Arteta. Not just Guardiola. We have seen the new sneaky move of Flick and Slot and his boys. So it's not just a case of you are battling Guardiola. It seems like Liverpool mojo never left. I don't know if you get. And for me, I'm constantly confident about this season because that game against Leicester was, I told somebody it was like the best first half we've played since we beat West Ham 5-0. Any other day, that game would have been 6-0, 5-0, but football, things happen. Yeah. Justin would never score that kind of goal in his career again. He would never. It's just two funny goals, and then it is what it is. But then again, the mental resilience of the team.
Do you think Arsenal can win the EPL title this season?
Season out, I've been always impressed with how Arsenal plays. They are a team whereby when you watch,
I remember you are one of their antagonists.
No, that's why I'm shocked. That's why I'm shocked.
No, what happened is when Arsenal are playing, when they are not playing well, we just have to let them know. I know one thing about my fellow brother Prosper. When they are not playing well, you also have a way to defend them. But when they are not playing well, let them know. When they are playing well, we always let them know. You understand? We know Arsenal to be a team whereby season in, season out, since when Mikel Arteta came, they always fight. They are a fighter. And like he said the other time, it's now or never for Mikel Arteta. I think at the end of the season, if he can't get his hand on the trophy, I think he needs to make a space for someone else to come in to try his luck. It's not you being a coward. It's you moving out respectfully. Having your honor. At the end of the day, you might end up going to Real Madrid, somewhere else to win the title and all and stuff like that. But the way Arsenal are playing this season, and with the little thing we've seen about Manchester City and all those things, I can say it. Arsenal should have a chance to win the league this season. But we should always remember something, not as to put too much pressure on Arsenal. We should know we only have Man City in this league. We have the likes of Liverpool. We have the likes of Chelsea.
Chelsea will fall off.
You can't even define the way
Chelsea will fall off. I don't see them as a threat.
We know they will fall off.
Yeah.
We shouldn't underestimate Chelsea right now because the way they are moving, we can see that they are actually gradually getting their reading. But right now, the way Arsenal played right now, I think they should get their hands on the trophy.
Basically, do you think this is Arteta's last season with the Gunners if he fails to deliver a major trophy? I'm talking about the Champions League or the English Premier League title. Is it now or never? Just like Prosper said.
To me, this is probably, let me call it a last shot, because although that depends on Arsenal's board, Edu and the likes to make the decision to probably free him if he's unable to get at least hold of a major trophy. But he should just the same mistake he has been doing all this while. I think me and Prosper had that discussion. Is him trying to prioritize the Premier League,
over everything.
Because just look at the approach in cup games and league games. It's a two different thing entirely. But at the end of the day, he has more chance to I think to win the Premier League this season. In sense that I feel Chelsea is not still ready to challenge for the Premier League this season. They might not. They might even end up probably 5 or 6.
Okay, sorry, please. I want to buttress something with what he said. Arteta prioritizing the Premier League. I really like that idea, because looking at it, we all forget one thing. Arsenal are playing very well, but still they don't have this much of squad depth in which we should know. Let's deduct the first 11 Arsenal has. Let's go to their bench. They don't have this kind of quality players on the bench.
But
no,
Erik, this has been happening for 3 seasons now.
When you don't have a squad,
in 3 seasons you have 6.
Prosper, can you agree with me? Sometimes when you don't have a squad depth, it's always very good when you prioritize a trophy.
Okay, if we are speaking about Mikel Arteta prioritizing only the Premier League, I think we need to go to the bench, because we saw a certain Nwaneri who did so well.
Those are upcoming youngsters.
Now, he did so well when he has been called on in the
even the Leicester game. He changed the rhythm of the Leicester game.
In the absence of Nwaneri. Now, do we blame that on Mikel Arteta for not even giving these boys chances? Do we blame it on Mikel Arteta because we saw what Nwaneri did? Can we blame it on Mikel Arteta?
Yeah, partially we should blame that on him, because there should be some of those games, probably most of those games last season, whereby he won by a larger margin. He should just introduce those boys, because as you can see during the preseasons, these boys were impressive to say. They were, I think they gave their all during the preseason, and they tried their best. You should just probably try and implement. This is even the best time to use those boys, because unlike a team like Man U and any other team that is still trying to win a game, let me put it that way, Arsenal still, I think he has a chance, so he should be blamed partially.
Do you blame Mikel Arteta for not using the Nwaneri and the likes?
So far, with what I've seen with Nwaneri this season and Odegaard's injury, I've been expecting him to be called upon. I even tweeted that if by the Southampton game this weekend he's not starting, then there should be a conversation. Because so far, every time he has been called upon, he has shown that, bro, give me this thing. I'm ready for this thing. I believe if you are good enough, there's no age limit. Once you are good enough, you should be starting. Look at Yemi Yamal. You should be starting. Says Fabregas, when did he start? So I feel like there is no restriction to him at this point.
Okay, if you're speaking about being good enough, let's talk about Arne Slot. When the managerial appointment came in, it raised a lot of eyebrows. Everybody was like, who is this man coming from the Dutch league? Is he credible enough to fill in the boots of the legendary Jurgen Klopp? And do you think Arne Slot right now, do you think he is good enough to lead Liverpool to a Premier League title or probably maybe a Champions League title? Or is just Liverpool players doing their thing? It's not all down to Arne Slot.
Let's not forget, I keep saying it, I keep shouting it on this show. Arne Slot inherited a title contending team. With King Mo Salah, you had an all-timer defender, Virgil van Dijk. You have one of the best generational right back we've ever seen, Trent Alexander-Arnold. You had a goalkeeper like Alisson and all of that. So what he's doing to me right now, it's not a surprise, because this squad is actually good enough. We should not forget this Liverpool team topped majority of the table last season. I don't know if you get. That is to tell you the quality of the squad. I'm not taking away anything from the manager. And you said it yourself off stage that he said so far they've not actually played a retest, because even the Man United they play has been their traditional wives. I don't know if you get it. It's a yearly thing.
What do you mean by that?
They pay your bride price every season. They pay your bride price every season.
This same team I think was unable to beat
traditional wives
in three matches.
What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? The camera. What is this? What is this?
Should the man even jump into the conversation?
You shouldn't jump into this conversation, because you are.
Next time they are talking about Liverpool, you need to do like this before you jump into the conversation.
You raise your hand and allow me speak, sir.
Allow me speak, sir. Can I speak?
Your
team is a disgrace.
want
I
you guys
smell
to know
pain.
that
No, really, even
the day of reckoning is coming.
that is why he said, even Flick, according to Kenny, he said Flick himself said they've never really played a real test yet, which means he does not rate you. You are not a real test. That is what he says in his word.
Yeah.
They have not played a real test yet, so it's left for us to see when they come up against those proper teams. Because right now, Gravenberch is like he's on steroid. He's on. We are seeing another kind of player, and I felt like most of these players were misprofiled by Klopp.
Yeah.
The likes of Gravenberch, Cody Gakpo, and even Luis Diaz himself. Because with the kind of players I'm seeing right now at Liverpool are different type of players. So it's not a fluke.
Okay, so if we are speaking about Klopp profiling players, Erik, he has made this team to become a well-structured team, and right now Liverpool have the least XG to be considered. They have faced the least shots by opponents. You know, they have the most clean sheets in the league. They have considered just 2 goals so far in the league, and I think they have scored the most goals as well. They are on 10 goal difference. Do you think it's all down to Arne Slot's tactics? Because back in those days under Klopp, it used to be a back and forth thing. It used to be like a basketball. You score us, we score you back. Liverpool always going 1-0 down early in this early stage of the game. Right now is a thing of the past for Liverpool fans. When they are watching games now, they are not scared that we are going to keep conceding chances over and over again. And they are scoring at the other end of the pitch. Would you credit Arne Slot for this, or it's just that the likes of Virgil van Dijk, Konate have done the assignment very well, or it's all down to Arne Slot, who has controlled the team, who has structured the team properly?
With what we've seen, when Arne Slot actually joined Liverpool, I also said something that this guy is just going to follow the A16 protocol of Jurgen Klopp. But as time goes on, I actually saw a little bit of facts from his game, and we not parabolating around. Let's look at the way Gravenberch actually has improved. He actually declined a little bit under Jurgen Klopp, in which I never said it's Klopp's fault, because like I always say, you might not be good under this manager, and the next manager comes in, you are a better player. But with what we've seen about Gravenberch actually lacked a lot of playing time back then in Bayern Munich, and he actually picked up the reading as soon as Arne Slot actually came in. And defensive-wise, attacking-wise, things has really changed. And if you watch Liverpool's match thoroughly, you would have seen that there is a lot of changes compared to the time of Jurgen Klopp. A little tactical changes has actually came in and all stuff like that. Okay. And going into Arne Slot's record, you will know that man knows what he's doing. This is not a trial or error. This is not me bringing up a new team or something like that. Gravenberch has always been a pain in the ass for Jurgen Klopp, in which Liverpool fans and players are enjoying the liberty right now. Okay. So all credits to Arne Slot.
Okay. Where do you see Liverpool finishing this season? Abezi, your traditional rivals, you Manchester United fan.
This dusty rivalry. That is our swooping. That is our normal.
Say it to the world.
Your traditional wives.
I hate to say this, but I see them coming second, because what this man is doing is not just by fluke. You can say he entered a great squad from the great
Jurgen Klopp.
But at the same time, I want us to look at it from another angle. That another manager must as well come in and flop, might not even perform to people's expectation. And these same guys, we guys are calling world class. We should know that even we can't compare these same guys to 2-3 years ago, whereby they were at the top of their game, like Virgil van Dijk, before he had that nasty injury. Yeah, and even Mo Salah is the aging Mo Salah, and Trent, the way he plays under Klopp, the Jurgen Klopp utilizes them very well.
All right, guys, you're still watching Football or Nothing Show. Thank you for sticking around to this very moment. If I were you right now, what I'll be doing is I will click the subscribe button to subscribe to the channel. I'll tap the bell notification icon so that I'll be notified when we drop something beautiful on the channel. Remember, this channel is not only about weekend review, weekend preview. You have a lot of things to watch on the channel. You can watch your FPL content, your tactical analysis content. You have a lot of things to enjoy on the channel. And make sure you stick around to the end of this video. Thank you. All right, guys, welcome back to Football or Nothing. Let's go to our basis. Still on the Premier League. We go to Manchester United right now. I think this concerns you very much. I need to start with you. What's going on with United? The Old Trafford we all know before used to be a theater of dreams, and right now it's like a theater of nightmares. You go,
it's not like it is.
It's not a theater of nightmares. So, as a Manchester United fan, I think if an average Nigerian watching this podcast right now, we agree with me right now that it's easier being a Remo Star fan than being a Manchester United fan because
There's a placard online that says life no hard. Now you leave Canopy go support my
I swear that you.
the Tottenham game, you know, Tottenham has always been this leaky defense. Everybody was like, okay, United will be able to exploit their eye line, and still yet everybody's now coming into Old Trafford week in, week out. Nobody is scared of Old Trafford again. What is really going on at United right now?
Well, regardless of we blaming the players, blaming everybody, I still feel this manager should take the larger portion of the blame.
You are seeing the light.
Because it's not even about seeing the light now. Because throughout last season, there's this excuse and there. This excuse is, I think, it's not even valid again. Because you can't keep giving people excuse day by day. The grace days are over, if not almost over. Because you can't keep, at the same time, you are still gonna blame some players, but it still boils down to the manager because he is the one fueling these players. Because, okay, look at those setup now from the back line. Let me say, out of the 5 defenders, including the goalkeeper, 4 of them are former players of this man. So it's not as if this man does not have an identity. We can see it from games he had played earlier this season. But at the same time, you want to play a team like Liverpool, a team like Tottenham. I don't even understand him no more because you will now change your tactics, change your. In fact, I'm tired of this man because you can't keep changing ideas. What's wrong with this guy? because I'm just trying to forward a comment. Because I'm trying to forward a comment now.
The frustrated Man United fan point out his mind
just before you go on, I just need you guys to do one thing for me. As he's speaking, you guys should just do like this. Just tell him to calm down. Right now he's frustrated.
I wish we could get water from backstage so it could pour on his head.
So sorry, but let me just pat you on the back. I know you need it. Go on.
Because at first throughout last season, people were like injuries. It was Onana. It was.
Wait, are you about to cry?
Hi, you'll be all right.
Please don't cry. Go ahead.
So
small.
The issues. Let me say it still boils down to the manager because. Look at from the midfield setup, experiencing Merino, none of them hardly can they get hold of the ball quite well, make use of the good use of the ball, except from the back line. And there's this Dalo inconsistency, though we have no option because the depth is not there. I think they still have a lot of work to do at the left back department. Malaysia and Shaw, probably when they are back. To me, I think Shaw will still need to leave the team.
If you let me pause and go to it. If you said you think they still need more of the squad depth, you still need some options
at the left back.
At the left back,
yeah.
Manchester United were the victorious men in the just concluded transfer window. They signed a lot of players. Then the Euro came in. You see matches elite, Mazraoui. Do you agree with him that they still need to go out there again in the transfer market and still sign players?
What happened is Manchester United signed a lot of players during the transfer window, but they are making they made little of good signings. But most importantly, they are not tackling the areas in which they need to strengthen.
So you are saying all the players that Manchester United that signed this summer are mediocre players. They are not up there.
Bro, what I'm trying to tell you is that a lot of players Manchester United are signing. They are signing them. I don't even know how to say it. They are signing them like they are not strengthening the specific area that needs to be strengthened. For example, they need a very good winger, in which they all know. If anybody says they don't need a winger, you can quote me wrong. They need a very good winger. We saw how well Rashford played yesterday.
Are you still standing on your ground that Jadon Sancho is the best winger and they allowed him to go? You said it once on this podcast.
I don't need to say yes. They knew themselves.
Jadon Sancho is the best winger and they allowed him to go.
I'm very certain they already regret that action of letting Jadon Sancho go.
Kenneth, I feel he's not watching Man United match enough for him to conclude Sancho is the best winger.
Sancho has more assists this season than most of your attackers combined.
Say that again, bro.
Sancho has more assists this season than most of Man United attackers combined.
Stats can be misleading.
It can never be misleading here.
I know that's just a bad.
Bro, listen to me. One, you signing players, you are signing the wrong players. You understand?
In what sense?
You are signing the wrong players.
Wrong players?
Bro, you are signing the wrong player.
I love that.
As soon as you guys are signing the wrong players, you guys have one of the wrong managers. I think Erik is tired of that job. You just have to go in there, week in, week out, be on the pitch just to encourage the boys. Because right now he's also clueless about what is going on.
So you are saying Man United have a motivational speaker as a manager? You said he should go on to encourage the boys.
So what do you mean by signing the wrong player?
Like I said, I'll keep saying it. The main problem Manchester United is having is Erik ten Hag. Because Erik ten Hag has this kind of policy in which a lot of people don't know. Erik ten Hag knows how to profile players. If he doesn't like a player personally, he knows how to profile them. Meanwhile, all the fans entirely, they will keep, okay, this is the bad guy, this is the black sheep out of the old players. He has that kind of means of profiling players. And two, you using certain kind of players, like today you are using Amad Diallo,
Sancho.
Tomorrow you are using Rashford, you are using Sancho for no reasons. It's not that these guys are fit. It's not that, you have your main reason of using these guys. It's so bad. So it seems like Manchester United, you guys playing hanky-panky, trying to try new things every week. It's so bad when others are out there competing for trophies. How well do you want to keep doing that? This team needs changes. Even if it's going to be Van Nistelrooy, if it's going to take over as an
when they brought in Van Nistelrooy, I know that was Ten Hag's replacement.
It's better than the man that is there right now. Okay, look at the likes of Kobe Mino and all those players. Gradually, they are declining. Kobe Mino, likes of Kopama. Kobe Mino is not even among the debate right now. When you are talking about Kopama and the rest, he's not among the debate. So as time goes on, if that kind of thing keeps going on like that, it's going to end that way.
So
later on, you will see people not talking about
best sets of youngsters in the world. That is what
they don't play the same position. Why will you even
best sets of
them?
youngsters in the world?
Bro, you playing as a defender, you playing as a striker, you playing as a midfielder. You are still a footballer.
Yeah,
it's just a win.
That's right.
Well.
It's just a win, bro.
Still yet to get
because you don't play the same position doesn't mean you should be doing less.
Okay, I think Prosper should be able to give us a proper insight into this right now, because his team Arsenal, back in those days, they record them shitty teams. Shite. They were shite back in those days, and right now the days are far behind them. In your situation, back in those days when Arsenal was in the dark, how are you able to navigate your way back into the light?
How are you able to see the light?
What do you think is the best thing for Manchester United to do right now as an Arsenal fan? I think they need advice. Now, no.
Is he a sporting director?
I want you to listen and listen properly.
I'm about to speak.
Prosper, you have the ground.
I'm about to speak, and if you considered more than 3 goals this midweek, don't speak. Now, first of all, I will come to your question first, but Casemiro was the missing piece. Amrabat was the missing piece. Ugarte was the missing piece. These men have come.
Mazraoui was the missing piece.
Everybody
Matisse Delete was the missing piece.
Matisse Delete was the missing piece.
Joshua Zirkzee was the missing piece.
9.5.
Ojuluk was the missing piece.
Everything was the missing piece.
Yeah.
Now, this man has come. At the point yesterday, the man sitting close to me was like, I miss Casemiro. Because you could see, I'm not calling out Ugarte, but you could see him being cut out. You can see that the setup is setting the failures up to fail. I don't know if you get. Off air, we had a conversation. If Azan is watching this podcast, H2O, yeah. If he's watching the podcast, you remember. He said this Man United team are one of the best team for transitional against I-line. And right from time, Ten Hag has always been, we are beating the best transitional team in the world. Now, when I saw that lineup yesterday, I saw Rashford, I saw Garnacho. That is pace. I saw Bruno, ball behind the defense line.
And you saw a Joshua Zirkzee who's going to drop.
Thank you. To drag out the centre back. That was what I expect. I was expecting this would be a Man United game whereby they would cook Tottenham. If you remember when they were 2-0 down, I was still telling you that if Man U should get their team right, they should get back to this game. Because it's not like Tottenham were great.
Yeah.
Tottenham were not great.
Yeah.
But Man United are just bad.
Are just poor.
They were not great. There were flaws. There were flaws in like I said, if you concede 3 goals, don't speak with me.
I think at this point, if you are a Manchester United fan and with everything that is going on and you are still backing Erik ten Hag, you don't know football.
No.
Yes.
There were flaws. There were flaws.
Yes.
Now, if you look at the Man United build-up, there is a large space between the fullback and the last line. I don't know if you get. There's a large space between the fullback and the last line, which cost them a lot of times that game. Now, the spaces in the midfield are still there. United still concede cut back goals. So what are the improvements you are telling me you've improved? You are gaslighting me like your manager has been. Now you are saying you are building one of the best transitional teams in the world. We saw a lineup that was suitable for that Tottenham Island. For God's sake, if you watch the Chelsea Brighton game, you could that I was expecting a copy and paste of what Chelsea did to Brighton.
And for context to buttress what you are saying, Enzo Maresca needed only few months with Chelsea team to get them playing good, beautiful brand of football.
No, the thing is, I know the agenda you are pushing. No, I know the agenda you are pushing, but you need to consider environment.
Exactly.
The Chelsea environment has been a good environment.
But last season, we could remember, I think we discussed it on this podcast, that the Chelsea environment right now looks so toxic because there were points where we could hear something from the Chelsea camp. Enzo Fernandez is fighting with this, that. In fact, I think it was Thiago Silva. He complained about players being too much in the dressing room. So last season, Chelsea's environment was so toxic. And this season, Enzo Maresca, in one way or the other, from the way he has been addressing the press and all of that, he has instilled that discipline back into the team. And I think they are focused right now.
The case of Man United is rotting from the top to the bottom. Unlike Chelsea,
they never reach bottom self.
Do you
never reach bottom self.
Do you remember that this Erik ten Hag is a man who is always saying, "Oh, we need time. This same Ineos, they restructured the team. They got in a new CEO, Omar Berardi. They got
from
in
top
a new
to bottom.
They got in a new sporting director, Dan Ashworth. They got in a new technical director. The man Jason Cox from Southampton.
You collected my team doctor.
You know, they restructured everything. So, and they got him two new assistant manager
from Dutch. And you can't even beat a Dutch team.
I could remember Ruud van Nistelrooy said he got the call from Erik ten Hag. So ten Hag has everything that he wants. It's just like we are giving you everything that you want, and thereby the stage is yours.
The thing is this.
He doesn't have any.
He just need to perform.
The thing is this.
Either you perform or you go away.
He has been gaslighting people right from time. We've seen this thing. When they win a match, they come with the highest percentage since Sir Alex Ferguson, the highest percentage since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You want to play
this kind of odd record.
Exactly. You see this thing. Now, Man United, going back to their European form, they have won just one game in their last 9 European.
Yes.
Now they've lost 3 games in 3 starts this season in all competitions. Now, just look at how bad they've been under this manager, considering the money you get. This is Ajax FC. You have Onana, you have Matthias de Ligt, you have Lisandro Martinez, you have Mazarawi. Eriksen sparred with you at Ajax. You have Anthony. I don't know if you get.
You have Tyrell Malacia.
You have Malacia was from Feyenoord. From Feyenoord. I don't know if you get. Everything you've always wanted have been at your beck and call. Okay, they said, Casemiro was what? He's not the kebab man. He's from India, and this is the fake Casemiro we bought. They gave you Ugarte. Ugarte was being shoved off by Kulusevski. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here.
You're speaking about that Kulusevski. It's to buttress what you are saying.
Yeah.
Kulusevski had the game of
his life. Madison. That is the best I've seen Madison play in a while.
Kulusevski created 9 chances. That is the most in Old Trafford this season. That is the most chances created.
As Man United themselves created 9.
Kulusevski does not even play for Manchester United.
Bro, if you want to create a new record you've not created before,
go to Old Trafford. Now, coming back to what
Erik did not watch that match because you can see.
Bro, I watched the match from A to Z.
The way they were just giving away the ball cheaply. It's not even as if Tottenham did a very great.
Bro, why don't you win?
You are giving us contradictory statements right now. You said it earlier on that we need to blame the manager. Now you are blaming it on the players.
No, it's still this manager that is feeding this set of players.
Who are the set of players?
Marcus Rashford is one of them. I don't want to mention because he still borders to the manager.
Apart from Rashford, you said players, which means it's not just Rashford. Apart from Rashford, who are they?
No. It's just about being consistent. Now, look at the likes of Dalot. The man is not even Bruno Fernandes. Sometimes if Dalot is erratic and chaotic football that we are witnessing.
Now coming to Dalot,
if Dalot is out of the team, who are you putting in there?
That's why I said we need to do better at the left back department because of the injuries.
You can't gaslight me. You can't gaslight me. No, Kenny, you can't gaslight me. Mazarawi is a versatile player who can play as a left back. Dalot is a versatile player who can play as a left back. Lisandro Martinez is a versatile player who can play. You basically have at least 4 or 5 players in your squad
The
that
last
can cover
time
the
you
left
watched
back. Calm down.
Lisandro Martinez and left back.
Now, your
Were
manager.
you impressed with that?
Your manager
Against Manchester City.
has been misprofiling a lot of players. Now let's come to Diego Dalot. You mentioned no, because a player is good and a fullback does not mean
you invert him.
You need
Okay, hold on.
Why are you inverting Diogo Dalot?
Okay, because you play as a right back and you are being told to play at the left back. Does that, in fact, that does not even give you the right to make an unforced error. Standing alone, no unmarked, and giving the ball to the opponent cheaply, and you're telling me it's because he played at the left back. That's not even.
I never told you nobody played as a left back.
You didn't watch the game.
I'm now listening. You are just.
Do you know
all
how
over
many
the-
times he gave the ball
Calm
away
down.
cheaply? In
Somebody
first half
should please
alone?
get water from backstage. Calm down.
Yes.
No, I'm telling you. You said you need to fix your left back department. I am telling you that you have up to 5 players in your squad that can play that position. I don't know if you get. This is what they call squad building, squad planning. This is what Guardiola does. This is what every other team does. I don't know if you get. Like the Dani Olmo Barcelona sign can cover more than one position.
Yes.
That was the thing they saw when you built your squad. I don't know if you get.
It makes you spend less.
It makes you spend less. Now, Mazarawi can cover as a left back.
Okay.
We've seen Dalot. Don't play him as an inverted fullback at the left back. He would perform very well. You've seen Lisandro Martinez perform there. The Luke Shaw, who has been chilling with his James in their various hospitals, is there. You have Taro Malasha. It was
Since you are still getting me right now, this is what I'm saying. It's not you going out there to carry out your duty. Find what is being told to go and implement. Probably is doing it or not doing it. That's not the concern now. The way in which these players give out the ball cheaply. Look at against Liverpool, Casemiro giving unforced errors. These are the problems. These are the issues.
Manager set
They've
them
been
up to
happening week in,
fail.
week out, and
Your
you're
manager
telling me-
set them up to fail.
Yes.
Just
Like-
trust
so
now.
his
Now
manager will
let
tell you that
Kenny, listen to me.
Shoboslai.
No,
Is it the manager that will tell
Kenny,
you to
listen
pass
to me.
Madison?
Now, most of these Man United players, when they get to their countryside, you don't see those errors. They perform. They become a superstar. That is when Bruno gets his Magnifico.
And Ugarte was decent enough for Uruguay.
Yes, he had one of the best international tournaments in Copa America with Uruguay.
But how many games has he even played for you to?
Have you been impressed with Ugarte so far?
performance?
Have you been impressed with Ugarte so far?
I can rate him 6-7 over 10.
6-7 over. You are so
Yes.
delusional.
No.
Then what is delete? What is delete? What is Matthew delete?
I don't understand.
What will you rate Matthew delete? If you are rating Ugarte a 7, what is Matthew delete? 100 over 10.
You can't give you won't put one into my mouth.
I asked you a question.
I'll give him 7.
Bro, 7. So you are saying now you are saying equivalently.
Let's ask Prosper that's not a deluded fan attacking this man that is deluded.
Yeah.
Just to round up.
He's not even watching my United game.
Just also.
You say I watch your game more than you do.
You only watch our probably against Big Six. That's all.
I watch you are one of you are the worst Big Six. You are not even worth watching.
I mean, what would you do not as a deluded fan? You are not deluded.
Yeah.
What would you do if you are the Ineos group right now?
Sporting director.
Are you sacking Erik ten Hag or is staying for another season?
I'm giving him the next 2 games, which is Porto and Aston Villa. If I'm not seeing changes, then Broski.
He is not getting
learn
any
Arabic.
point out of
Saudi
that.
need coaches.
A trip.
Are
you sacking Erik ten Hag or is staying for another season?
I always say it a lot of time. Erik ten Hag is not going to amount to anything in Manchester United. He needs
Are
to
you
leave.
laying curse on him?
Not because. He needs to leave.
Okay. Abezi.
Well. To me, I feel the board are still going to give him till December because because probably people are just reactional. Let him go in the next 2 matches. I just feel people are just reactional. Though this man has been given a lot of time, and in fact, the great days are over. I think
You said people are reactional and you are calling him out. So you are also reactional.
Okay, let's know your thoughts in the comment section, guys. Join this conversation. This is getting so heated right now. You can
Intense.
see it's getting intense. You can see some people calling themselves delusional.
That's just banter.
I want you to join the conversation. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. What you think about the fate of Erik ten Hag going forward? If you are in Manchester United, if you are part of the board right now at United, would you be giving Erik ten Hag another chance for another season, or would you give him the chance of some games then you sack him? Then who do you think can come in to replace Erik ten Hag? Let's know all of that in the comment section. Make sure you share this video with your friends, like this video, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. That is very, very important. It will help us, it will help you, because if you turn on the bell notification icon, you'll be notified when we drop something beautiful on the channel. Thank you very much for watching this episode of the podcast. I've enjoyed myself. I'm always enjoying myself with this team. And I would like to thank Abezi I know they did you bad. You know, it was only you against them. It's you like
The day of reckoning is coming. I will remind them.
it's you against
I will
what I'm
remind
saying. Your hands. Thank you very much for being on the show. Even
I
though
think
you
I
are,
can only shake you because
even though you are in
they
a
are my
bad
life-
mood,
in fact,
you honored our call. Thank you very much
No,
for being on the
no,
show.
no.
And a trip. Well, the honeymoon has ended. We hope for better days ahead.
Better days next
Thank you very much for being on the show.
My fellow
And,
winner.
bro-
My fellow winner.
Prosper Westman, thank you very much for being on the show. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. We'll see you guys on the next episode of Football or Nothing. You guys should stay very cool.
Una voice loud, guy.
No, 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 no,